What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Boo Boo Project. Today, I have a very awesome guest for you guys on here. This is CJ Tech. He works with many awesome products like bullets and butterflies, and his new secondary project, the Naughty Northern. Let me have him introduce himself here.
Hello! As our host so wonderfully said, my producer tag is CJ Tech. I go by Chris. I go by many names, but CJ Tech's my producer tag. I am a songwriter and performer in the band Bullets and Butterflies. I'm a songwriter and performer in the group The Naughty Northern. And I do various projects and contribute to the community, the beautiful music community that we have here in the St. Paul, Minneapolis, Twin Cities area. So, really happy to be here. Real happy to be here.
I'm really happy to have you on the show, man. I'm really excited to hear more about your story and how you do things. So we're in a studio today, it looks like. Is that the music studio?
This is the music studio. In fear of the camera getting out of focus again. Yes, this is my little music studio. I'm out here, South St. Paul. It's a beautiful little place. We'll kind of bring it up. So this is the control room side. We had a taco bar last time. But this is the control room side. Got a keyboard over there. There's my there's my Kemper, and I got a Manson guitar right there. It's a MB1. And then, so it's just a really cool recording room side. There's a little electronic kit over there if we need. But the main course is over there. So this is the recording side. So we have a slew of microphones, yada, yada, some fun amps everywhere. But then most importantly, we got the vintage Ludwig kit back there. We got all sorts of fun stuff. And then there's actually a little storage area back there, which has a bunch of more fun stuff. So it's just kind of your own little fun makeshift. Hey, good job, camera. It stayed in focus. It's a makeshift rehearsal space turned studio turned something. It is a place where I love to just host friends to do music. It's super funny. I tried introducing someone as my client once, and I was like, wait, this person's my friend. I try to, the main reason why a lot of us do music in the first place, like there's so much of us that songwrite at home alone by ourselves, but the power you get of having that community and sharing and collaborating with others makes us feel a little less lonely in this universe. So I love bringing people in here and, helping them get their sound to what they, when they were sitting in their room writing on their guitar or their piano, they had a bigger picture in their head. And my job as a producer is to help them get there. And I love doing that.
That's awesome, man. I always have loved helping other artists too, and I'm glad to meet somebody who also has the same vision of just building the scene and helping people, see their potential and what they can do.
Dude, absolutely. I think, especially when a lot of us start out in this industry, there's so many people that say, "Oh, let's do this, let's collaborate, and let's do this." And I'm definitely a person that's like, "Hey, let's hang out, let's talk about music. Let's be music nerds together. Let's combine this in." But most importantly, I think something that was lost during this run of COVID, the music community suffered greatly at the hands of something terrible that went through this country with COVID, and venues shut down permanently, and so now the world is waking back up, and communities are starting to pop up again, but a community cannot start unless you leave your front door and help it.
Exactly.
It's up to all of us. We're all gardeners of a music community. Everyone's got to eat, everyone's got to get their light, and everyone's got to get their baby.
Oh,
Yeah,
babies.
mine is around here somewhere. Ziggy. Um, but my studio manager is my corgi. She is cute and adorable, and she is sleeping on the job currently. So,
Well, mine's a pipsqueak, so I feel he's doing it.
oh, it's a good. How old?
He's about a year and a half. It's my roommate's dog. He's attached to me at the hip.
Oh, babies. But yeah. I just kind of like what you said. I love just giving back to the community that has given so much to me over the course of 17 years of me doing music. You know, if it weren't for music, I wouldn't have a whole lot in my life, you know, and it's a gift that I will never be able to repay.
I
So,
really understand that feeling. Making music is actually what pulled me out of the darkest place in my life. So
yeah,
really,
absolutely.
it's like it's like medicine.
Mhm. Scientifically, like literally, I mean, scientifically, music is medicine, you know, because music is sound vibration pushing, you know, through the air. And like hearing these tiny vibrations makes our brain and our hearts feel something. You know, like people that are adrenaline, you know, people that are like, oh, you know, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, they tend to like EDM and stuff like that more because when in EDM, there's literal frequencies that hit your heart. And it, you know, you ever been hit by a sub and it feels like your heart skips a beat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those people that really love like their really bass and drum heavy bass like EDM kind of stuff, they're usually the people that are like, oh, I just like getting that, and it's the same thing as like, you know, getting your heart skipped. So some people, we all, every human body has a specific frequency that they just resonate with. You know, some people it's low end, some people it's high end, somewhere it's some in the middle. You know, like for me, like I don't know what it is about a saxophone, but just listening to an isolated saxophone, just like it, just the whole, you know, I feel it in my body. I could talk about that for
Yeah,
ages, but
yeah,
yeah,
I
like,
get that feeling. That like you're starting to talk about a specific instrument. That's how I get with the violin, so I understand.
oh,
First thing I
violins,
ever touched.
cellos. Mm,
First instrument I ever touched, and the only one I've
really?
never put down.
Mm, that's
It's the only
awesome.
one
How,
I
when did you start with that?
10 years old.
Oh, lucky.
You know, young, started right off fresh.
Oh, I didn't start playing an instrument. Well, okay. They put me in piano lessons when I was a kid, and for some reason I thought it was boring, even though my whole family is made of piano players. And then I did some like timpani percussion, and I did some drum stuff. But then I didn't pick up a bass guitar until I was 17. I picked up a six string guitar when I was 18, and here I am 36 years old. So it's actually been 18 years I've been in the music industry, and I feel old just saying that. The gray in my beard started coming out a little farther.
If it makes you feel better, people ask me if I'm your age.
uh, but I mean, scars and, you know, scars and experience are signs of a life well lived, you
Exactly.
know? Like, yeah, there are bad times in there for sure, but I don't regret anything because everything got me to where I am today. And I'm truly blessed and grateful to have the community I have around me, you know, the people I have that I record, and the people that I write music with. It's truly a blessing, and I'm literally could not be more grateful. And now I'm at the point where I get to reach out to people across the country and across, you know, talking to people like you, people that aren't even in my own state, and start making that network of connections of people of like minds. So,
Yeah, I mean that's what music is really about, is connecting, like minds, and even minds that might not be alike but can get along to do something great.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about going to a concert. There are so many people when you go to a music venue or a concert, like outside of that concert, you probably don't have a whole lot of much in common with the person standing next to you. But when you're there, everyone is united in that one cause. Music is the universal language of the world, as I like to
Honestly, the
say.
greatest example I have of that is like I was at a Tecc concert a few years ago, and it's me, straight hippie juggalo guy. And you got freaking a big old freaking gang member in all red, and then this tiny little stoner dude with the car. I mean, we're all just rapping. Hood goes crazy, leaned into a circle, probably
Mm,
on each other.
oh, Dude, that's awesome.
It was like three complete different lifestyles, all just standing there in the same spot, doing the same thing.
Dude, I had the pleasure of with the first road experience I got with the Naughty Northern, not period, with the Naughty Northern. Chris Calico is on that tour.
Oh damn, that is
Dude,
actually amazing. I love Chris.
Watching Chris sing it night in and night out, monster. An absolute monster. And I found some way that I could relate to him because once again, we're from two very separate sides. I'm from a very rock industry. He's from a very, hip hop R&B industry. And the minute he got off stage, I caught him with this like ice cold, like straight out of like the coldest temp before it could freeze Coca-Cola. And he looked really excited about it. And I was like, I saw him like walking backstage. I was like, dude, nice. He was like, wow, I was just like the ice cold Coke. He's like, I'm so excited for this. You have no idea. So I was able to relate to Chris Calico on just like, oh, dude, ice cold Coca-Cola. It was great. It's beautiful. The small things in life.
You need some type of ice cold drink.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, mine used to be alcohol.
Mine used to be a lot of copious amounts of alcohol too, but sounds like you stopped drinking.
Life's better when I don't.
As a follower of that narrative for the past 3.5 years, I can wholeheartedly agree, brother. Yeah, 3.5 years sober on that, and 6 months sober. So life is just
smoke anymore.
Nothing.
I know exactly what sober means.
Yeah, raw, as I like to jokingly say, raw dog in life.
I was just gonna say.
But yeah, I think I hit a point of realizing that, I was in 2 projects, helping someone with a third, and then slated to record, 5 other people within like a 2-week period. And I was like, I am not able to be of maximum service to other human beings if I'm just rolling around being stony baloney all the time, and just being in an altered state of mind doesn't allow you to, as I said, if I am to be of maximum service to others and to do my job to the best of my abilities, I need to be sober. Like, it literally starts with that. And, I think quitting alcohol was one thing. And then, like, the big step was, the occasional, like, THC use or anything like that. Like, because I didn't really do it while I drank, and then I quit drinking, and I was like, oh, maybe. And then it turns out that lady alcohol just disguised herself in a different form of something that was a little more green. So,
yeah. Oh gosh, I wish I could quit smoking, but it's either that or painkillers, according to my doctor, for my condition, and I'm not going to go into the pharmaceutical trap.
See, but and just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for everyone else. Like, and then bless you for, finding your own way of being able to control any type of pain that you have. Like, there are so many good uses for, marijuana, CBD products out there. It's just not for me. Like, I have a mental problem about enjoying being in an altered state of mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah. See, that's why I'm trying to find different things that can help that aren't painkillers either, because that's a more heavily altered state of mind than I'm already using.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I learned the hard way through high school just how altered your mind can get with those.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you can really travel far and wide on that one.
Oh yeah.
I had people that I used to go on tour with that, would be addicted to pills, and one day they're happy, and then the next day they're on the other side of the spectrum. And I think we all go, and as I said, we all go through the experiences that we go through in life to learn through them.
Exactly.
But yeah, how long have you been off alcohol for, man?
Honestly, I not even gonna lie, I had a slip last week, but it was from December 27th up until then.
Okay, dude, and slips happen. Don't literally celebrate your sobriety one day at a time, man. Like don't think about tomorrow, don't think about yesterday, think about today. And if you can get to the end of the day and be like, hell yeah, I didn't drink today. Or if that's your goal, if you don't want to drink anymore, just like take it one day at a time, man. One day. That's all
Yeah,
you need. Like
that's
at the end of the day, if I don't drink or take a substance, I like high five myself. I'm like, oh, yeah, good job, buddy. We did this. But part of what helps me stay sober, truly, is music. You know, having the ability to work with other people, having the ability to converse with other people and commune with other people and help make that community and help, fellowship via music makes me feel like I don't need a substance. Music is my substance.
exactly.
Like
It's
it's
like a drug. It is addictive industry to get into.
well, I mean, even
I mean,
like,
the proof is in the pudding with you. Retired twice, came back twice, like 10 years,
yeah.
15 years.
Well, I mean, and while we're on the conversation of, like addiction and stuff like that, like the second retirement almost killed me. Like
Really?
yeah, I like long story short, I had a project that got derailed by COVID, and I love everyone that was a part of that project, and my heart goes out to them wherever they are in the world. They're beautiful people. Beach is out there somewhere right now, and I pray for her and wish her the best. Um, as soon as that project was done, I stepped into the deepest, darkest depression of my life. I drank. I got so good at drinking, I landed in a hospital, and I weighed, I weighed 285 pounds, and I was alone in a hospital bed with my heart racing, 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 and I thought that was going to be it right there. I was just like, is this how it ends? Like, no family, no family. My brother wasn't there. My roommate wasn't there. My parents weren't there. I had no friends in that room. I had no one around me. And I had no art in my life. I had no music in my life. There was, my light was dark. And
The light went from dimming to dull pretty much, and kind of
yeah.
had to twist the bulb back into the socket.
Yeah, yeah, I basically I got out of the hospital. I detoxed on a couch for 2 weeks, just sweating it out, shaking with shaky hands, and I knew the doctor at the ER, she was like, "I'm going to ask you a question, Chris. Do you smoke cigarettes?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And she goes, "Wrong answer. Do you smoke cigarettes?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I do." And she goes, "Wrong answer. Do you smoke cigarettes?" And I was like, "Yes." And she goes, "Not if you want to live." And I was like, okay.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay. So as you probably well know, drinking and smoking go very hand in hand. And I was like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
well, if I can't smoke, I can't drink. And like, I know that drinking got me in there because I went through a very good binge. And, I spent 2 weeks on a couch, and then my dog, wherever she's sleeping currently, she brought me every toy that she owned, and eventually I threw one, and she ran, and just the way she ran made me giggle. It looked like like the Flintstones episode, and her feet were like, and she's a little corgi, just a little corgi butt. And next thing you know, I took her outside and I was playing, and then the next thing you know, we were out in a walk in a beautiful park. And it was that moment that I was like, maybe there's something better in life to do. Um, and so I had been sober about 9 months, and this is a beautiful story, and this is kind of the story of bullets and butterflies. Because as I said, I had been retired twice.
Well, now you're answering another question I had. Let's go.
Yep. It's my favorite story, and hopefully a story that never ends. You know. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, as I like to say, there was a band named Vaudeville, and that was my first band. I had a producer whose name was Wally, and he recorded us at this studio called the Big Red Barn. And so we wrote our first record there, and it was this magical, beautiful record called Vendetta. Love it. I have so many friends that like. Anyway, long story short, while we were writing this record, this producer had a little girl, a little daughter, and she was literally in this corner bedroom listening to this band write music 17, 18 years ago. And she grew up and she got through her life and she loved that band. She loved vaudeville. She had a vaudeville poster on her wall. She listened to vaudeville every day. She would go touring in she would go to Europe with like stuff and like listen to vaudeville. And then she became of age and she was like, "Dad, I want a band." And Wally goes, "Okay, well, if you want to do this, you need a band." And she goes, do you think vaudeville would be my band? And me and Wally have had a great working relationship throughout the years every time I do music. And he goes, instead of being like, kid, that's for dreamers, he goes, just maybe. So I randomly got a message one day, and I had noticed that she was starting her own project because Wally was going to be in it. And, I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Like, I hope everything goes well." So I get invited to this backyard football party, and I'm like, "All right, cool." And go to this backyard football party, and all of a sudden Wally walks in with Josie. And I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing here, buddy?" And, we hug it out. I haven't seen him in a hot minute. And, and they're like, "Hey, we brought over some new music. Do we all want to go downstairs and listen to this new music that we have?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, sure." So, we all go down in this basement, and I'm sitting there. I'm like listening to the music. And you ever have that feeling that you're being watched?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there, I'm listening, and all of a sudden I like look over in the corner at Wally and Josie, and they're literally over there just like staring at me, like literally analyzing every face expression. They're just watching my every move, and I was like, I think I know what's going on here. So, I sat on it, and then I texted Wally the next day, and I was like, "Are you gardening?" And he goes, "Not particularly. I'm not growing anything right now. Why are you asking?" And I was like, No, are you planting seeds?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is exactly what I was doing." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "So you want me to be in this project?" And he goes, "I would love for you to be in this project. Josie and I would really love for you to do this." Like, basically, when they started, they had a sound in mind, and
You were
Wally,
guessing?
I am beyond humbled. Humbled and grateful that they find what I offer to this world via music to be the sound that they wanted. Yes.
I mean, when you listen, what you guys make is awesome. I very much enjoy it.
Thank you. Yeah, I like literally. There are so many times in my life that I can tell you that even like before I retired, twice, I found myself in some of the darkest places. As an artist, you get it.
Yeah.
And Wally, bless his soul, was always there because when I hit that point, I would call and be like, "Hey, man, like this, and that. I'm down on myself. I'm not feeling this." And he'd always be like, "Shara," it's my last name. He goes, "You're a beautiful human." He would just tell me. He's always been my number one fan. Like, no matter what, I can call him and he's in my corner and he's like, "You got this, dude." And so, like
That's
the fact that after all these years, that they're like, "Hey, we need to do this. We need to make this band." It was me, and as I said, I cannot even start to say how honored and grateful I am to this day. Because as I said, I know what it's like to not have music in my life. And now that I've allowed them to come into my life and allowed myself to do music again. I have the honor and privilege and just gratefully the ability to help them make the sound that they want to achieve. You know, Wally is an incredible songwriter, and between his songwriting and me and Josie, Josie is, I always gave my parents crap, dude. I like growing up, I was like, I want a little sister. And God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, was like, dude, you're good. You're good. You don't need one. I already made one for you. She's here. And literally from that day when I joined this project, I was like, you know, I can be a part of this project, or I can be friends with this beautiful human that Wally made. And I'm grateful to say I call her my sister. She truly is the little sister that I never had growing up. The relationship we have is so beautiful. We talk to each other so much. We are in each other's corners. We are there to challenge each other to be better. You know,
And what's crazy is it all started because of your first band, your very first project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like music, without music, I wouldn't have any of this. I don't know where my life would be, but I know that I went through everything that I went through, all the bad stuff and the good stuff, to get here and to be of maximum service to my sister, who's Josie. You know, I call her my sister. She's my chosen sister. Um, I love her very much. She is an incredible human being, and so is her dad. Her dad, you know, both of
They
them.
are amazing people who
Yeah,
really have, especially your best interest at heart. It seems like
they do. They do.
Days, and I'm glad that you have someone like that.
Thank you, thank you. I think I've said it like 17 times. Eternally grateful, like, and that's why, you know, we all have each other's backs, you know, and so that's what makes that machine drive. Like everyone in Bullets has a job to do. To wrap that one up, they were like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yes, but I'm a package deal." So my bass player, guitar player from vaudeville, Sam, who they were very okay with because he was also in the band. He's just a beautiful personality, beautiful human being. I was like, I need to bring my boys with me. So I brought my.
Is it?
What was that?
Is that Sam Larson?
Sam Plegancool, who is now Sam Thiele, who also goes by AJ Sugar. He's got three names. Yeah, there you go. See,
the last one I've heard.
Of course you have. No, that's the funny thing. I know him as Sam. I met him as Sam, this young boy from Iowa, and all of a sudden one day he just wakes up and he's like, "My name's AJ Sugar now. My identity was stolen." His identity was not stolen. He just decided that his stage name was AJ Sugar one day, and now literally I cannot go to a grocery store in the Twin Cities area with this guy without someone being like, "Hey, AJ," and I'm like, "Don't." His name's not AJ, it's Sam.
Don't feed into him.
Don't feed into it, you know. But no, his name is I call him Sam. I call him Sam. But he is AJ Sugar. His stage name's AJ Sugar. He is, once again, just a beautiful human being. I would not be able to do this journey without him. Like,
my original stage
and I called him. The minute this whole thing popped up, you know, I was like, I'm a package deal. I hadn't even talked to him about it yet, so I just called him, and he had just gotten a dog, was taking his dog on a walk, was also retired from music a second time, and I was like, "Hey, man, so do you want to do this again?" And he was like, I was literally walking my dog. Like he thought he's married, he's got plans, he's saving up for a house, he's got all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, this guy is calling me out of retirement again."
Again, too. That's the crazy thing. Again,
yeah, we both. Yeah, we both retired at the same time, you know. But we're a package deal, you know. He's my better half when it comes to my music side. He's my right hand man.
Yeah, CJ and Sam. It's like Boo Boo and B Weezy. I get it.
Hell yeah. No, he's such a good dude. Love him dearly, and we're dog uncles for each other's dogs too, so it works out. So our kids get along pretty well. It's fun to take them to the park and stuff. But yeah, man, that's the story of Bullets. We all come from this long background of Josie being a big fan of vaudeville's music. Her dad grew up being a major musician too. Her dad toured the entire world, and then he started recording people. And the first person she tapped to be in her band was her dad, because of course she should. and Wally is an incredible guitar player, and he is even a better songwriter. Like, his songwriting chops, like, he taught me without sitting me down and being like, I'm going to teach you how to write a song. Basically, I just took his feedback over 17 years, and now when I send him stuff, he's like, oh yeah, it's we know how to speak each other's songwriting language. We both know each other, we both trust each other, and that's a big thing in a music project, is just having everybody on the same page.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do too, is to get everybody onto the same page and keep them on the same page.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the thing with Bullets. Like, we have open communication. We talk to each other about everything. Like, if someone doesn't like something, it's not like this huge conspiracy. Turns out, and I don't know if you know this, you're allowed to have your own opinion, and your opinion can sometimes. I know sometimes our opinions are wrong.
Whoa, really? Nah,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, like, sometimes, like, sometimes a song will be sent out and one person will be like, yeah, meh. But, like, that doesn't mean we're not on the same page. That just means that one person's like, meh. Just because, like, I'll be sent something and I'm like, it's okay. It's, Wally once told me, I sent him songs back in the day, and his response to me was, it's a song. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's a song. Like,
I mean, it counts as a song. I mean, you made it somewhere. That's what that says.
Yeah. Yeah. I truly believe, and people can argue with me on this, which is fine. They're allowed to. As I said, it's like art is supposed to be subjective. People are allowed to have their opinions, but I don't believe there is such thing as a good song. I don't think there's such thing as a bad song. There's no such thing as a bad song, just bad representations of them. Like, I think when every song starts, we had an image of where we wanted it to go, and sometimes people have a really hard time translating that onto recording. And so that is where, being a producer and a songwriter, that's where collaboration comes in handy. We're able to reach out and be like, hey, let's get another ear on this. Maybe someone's hearing something that you want, but you can't figure it out. And that's where that experience comes in, and that collaboration, that communication. And in Bullets and Butterflies, it is just a beautiful spinning wheel. It is a beautiful spinning wheel of communication and love. Like, we are a family, like, and we're all on the same page, and that's what makes that gear work as well as it does. And I'm really excited to continue to service Josie and Wally in the best way I possibly can.
It's really beautiful to like hear about a band that actually is finding ways to actively avoid conflict and splitting apart and issues, because you don't see that a lot. Sadly.
It's because we're not afraid of being honest with each other. We know who all of us know who we are as human beings. There's nothing to hide. And when you have nothing to hide and you are vulnerable and you show yourself, your true self, which you always should do. So long as you're true and honest, like, it's when we as humans have this weird bug in our head sometimes where we're like, maybe I should be dishonest about this. Just be honest. Sometimes we're afraid of hurting someone's feelings. Sometimes we're afraid of, oh, how are they going to react? Or we are only in control of 50% of any situation, but that is 100% of how we act and react. And everybody in Bullets understands that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I've lost friends because they've showed me a song and I was like, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. This is complete shit. I'm a little too honest about it, and my words are a little harsh sometimes. But I mean, I'm sorry if I cannot listen to your song for more than 15 seconds. I'm gonna be dead honest.
yeah, that's one of those where I would listen to it and go, it's a song. It's a
I mean, I've
song.
started to go with, it's all right.
But I mean, like, as I said, you know, especially when if someone's coming to me, like for example, I have people. One of my favorite clients. He's truly my friend. His name's Dylan Wild, a beautiful human being, just a beautiful human being. Like, cannot say any more good things about him. He's kind of his voice is so gorgeous. But regardless, you know, he'll reference the one time he brought a song to me, and he was like, "Yeah, I played this song for you," and you were like, "It's a song. Keep working on it." Like that was my answer, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I
Honestly,
was like, "Cool."
that's the nicest. I don't want to listen to this much longer. I've heard. I'm kidding.
I listen to it. I listen. I will. Oh no, I get you. You're good. You're good. Everything's fine in jest. And that's the thing about bullets. Like just because there's no conflict doesn't mean that we're not sarcastic. We are so sarcastic, and we all know it. And we're all very good jokers, and we do it all for fun.
That's the
Circling
way it
back on
is.
that one last time before I get back to Dylan, we all understand. Like, yes, music is a business, and it should be ran like a business. But in its core, we have fun doing it. We enjoy each other. We are honest with each other, and we talk to each other about things.
That's how everything should be.
Yep. So as I said, it just starts with a little honesty, because when you start being dishonest, that's when you get in trouble. And that's my advice to the whole world on anything. Period. Just be a little honest, man. You know, like as I said, you can only control 50% of any situation, and that's 100% of how you act and react. And sometimes, like, yeah, Dylan. Anyway, so yeah, but Dylan was like, you know, you listened to it and you said it's a song, work on it. So he worked on it and he brought it back, and I was like, ah, it's a really cool song, you know. But as I said, I don't think there's such thing as a bad song. I think there are just bad representations of songs. And
Yeah.
that's a rabbit hole that we could deep dive down for a long time, because yeah, there are some songs that turned out bad, but at their core, I do believe that it started from a good place.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones like that. I mean, we could talk about that for hours on end. I mean,
Hmm. So
but I
yeah,
do.
go ahead and ask another question. I'm sorry, I tend to like ramble, if you can't
It's
tell, and
your
just
show. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Like, I'm just here to facilitate things. It's more the guest show when I'm on, when they come on.
that's fair. You're doing wonderful. Thank you for having me on again. This has been a wonderful
Of course, I
experience.
mean, this is a great interview, and I mean, I'm learning a lot without really asking any of the questions. You've answered so many of them. I mean,
Well, happy to answer questions. Go ahead, fire another one. Let's go.
well, how do you balance being a musician with, like, your personal life and doing everything?
Hmm. One day at a time. You know, I truly, you know, and I said that to you in regards to sobriety. You know, that's how I attacked my sobriety, and that's how I attack my life now. I wake up, I pray, I meditate a little bit, and when I say meditate, I just make sure I'm in the present moment and just staying calm. And then I move, and so that literally could be walking my dog, that could be sitting down and eating my breakfast, but I make sure that I'm just focused on what the task is at hand. But then beyond that, it's just one thing at a time. You know, my sobriety is one day at a time. My everything is one day at a time. So it's like how I do it. It's like, okay, well, I gotta wake up, I gotta pray, I gotta walk the dog, and then I gotta go to work. Like, I have a day job sometimes that I work. It's kind of part time, but I work at I'm like, okay, now I have to walk my dog. Then when I'm done walking my dog, I gotta go be of maximum service. And that's that thing. It's just like I gotta make sure that I'm showing up and I'm present for people in my life. So how do I balance it? I just approach it one day at a time, man. One day at a time. You
Figure
know,
out how you're gonna do things each day as the day happens.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, oh my god, I have a full band recording, live full band recording session this Sunday. If I started spiraling about what microphones I want to use and what inputs I want to use about that today, I would not be doing anything else. I would be spiraling about something that I can't control because it's 5 days in the future. So I can
Yeah.
control what I do today. So today I have a podcast, and then I have to listen to some mixes, and then I have to mix some jazz, and then I have to listen to some rock stuff and send some feedback notes on a shoegaze band. And then I have my jazz clients coming in. And then I have to walk my dog somewhere in there. And then eventually I get to go home and go to bed. And then
Yeah.
tomorrow I work, and then I get off work, and then I'm here in the studio recording people. So I can't, you know, I think people get too wrapped up in looking ahead instead of being focused on what's right in front of you. The best advice I've heard in the last year is be where your hands are.
Exactly.
Be where your hands are. So make sure that you are where your hands are.
That's really all you can do is, make sure that like your mind is where you're at. That helps everything keep flowing smoothly. So,
Absolutely.
how has, becoming older changed your perspective on music and life? You've been in the game significantly longer than me.
I understand more than any given day of the week that the most underrated thing in life is gratitude. The most underrated thing in life is being grateful, especially in the times that we're in. We're in a country and in an economic scape where, and I'm not getting political by any means. I'm just saying, like, we live in a world where people want more, 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 more. It's always more, 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 more. You know, part of the thing I do every week or every biweekly when I can is I give my time to feed my starving children. Like I donate an hour a week to try to feed starving children, package meals to send elsewhere. And
That's
there are
good.
people in Guatemala. There are people in Guatemala literally living in a garbage dump right now.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
dude. Like they literally live in a pile of garbage and they have to rummage through it to live. And we're here, in the music industry being like, I'm sitting up till, there's me sitting up until 1 a.m. being like, I think there's too much 40 hertz in the mix. I gotta cut this down. Or I'm like evaluating like this kick drum audio sample, and I'm like, I need to, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
perspective. Getting older has given me perspective and the ability to be grateful for what I do have. So many people are so focused on, well, I'm not famous yet. I don't have as many views as I have. I don't, I want more views. I want more this. I want more that. Okay. Well, what can you do about it now? What can you do to best service yourself now? So, like, oh, I got a music video coming up in 2 weeks. Okay, well, is there something you can do for the music video now? Cool. Start getting things ready for it. Otherwise, work on something that's beneficial to where you are currently, where your hands are right now. So, if my age has taught me anything, it's that to be grateful for the things that we do have. I think we're so focused on more, more, more instead of just being grateful. Like, my song only has 1,000 views. Dude, that is 1,000 people that listen to your art. Like,
mm,
how blessed are we to live in a society where you can just put your stuff out in the internet and get instant feedback?
exactly. Like I put out a clean version of a song, got like 600 views in a week, and that's my biggest song. I'm still proud of it, and it still hasn't even reached 700, and I'm so proud of that.
That's awesome. That's 700 people, man. That
Exactly.
is beautiful. And there are artists out there, and I'm not saying they're wrong, and I'm not saying that these are bad people or the wrong way to look at things. I'm just saying, sometimes It is a glass half full. Sometimes we look at the things glass half full, glass half empty. And what we need to realize is that it's a glass of water, and we have water.
And
There
that's
are
what matters.
places there are places where we don't have water. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, my song only has 1,000 views. Okay, well there are artists out there that don't have the know-how or knowledge to record their own music and get it out. There are people out there that are struggling to get their music out in an era where it's never been easier to get your music out because of fear, because of things that they haven't built up the courage to do. So be grateful for like, does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
be
a lot of
grateful for what you got.
yeah, and I mean the big thing I've noticed too with like a lot of people not releasing is seems a lot of people are gatekeeping knowledge now too. Holding back what they know about how to do things correctly
Mhm.
to try and get themselves farther ahead than others, which
Yeah.
I feel like is a terrible thing to do.
Yeah. I met a young man the other day, and, he had overheard that I saying that I have a studio, and he's like, "You have a studio?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, well, what are your rates? And I was like, well, I gave him my standard rate, but I was like, it depends. I was like, I run a lot of what I do based off of passion. So, if I'm vested, then, that's different. I
If
have four
someone's
I have
vision,
four projects that I'm helping out right now that I don't want money from them, because I want them to spend that on things that are better suited, because all I'm doing is clicking. I'm showing them. I'm a person that I like teaching them how to fish, so that eventually it's not, hey, can I come lay this demo down? It's like, yo, dude, I got this awesome demo. you know like, and like you said, things are being gate kept. I had a conversation with someone that I used to write music with, that he was just like, well, I can't get my vocals to sound really that good, but I have this really nice microphone. And I was like, okay, has anyone ever taught you compression?
has
And he
anyone
goes,
touched the gain levels and like
gain levels, compression, like, and it's so easy. Like, compression and gain staging and EQing, it's not rocket science. But as you said, I think people think it's gate kept, and then there's a lot of fear involved.
there's a lot of people that like weren't teaching me. I had to Google and YouTube everything I know.
I was a self-taught guitar player, so I get it. And bless you for having the initiative for doing that, man. Like, that's awesome. Like, I think that shows a lot of strength out of
Well,
you.
I
Like,
had
so many people are like, well, I didn't go to college for audio engineering, so I can't record myself. Yes, you can.
who said you can't? I
Who
recorded
said you can?
my first song, and I mean it's probably my best quality song called "Since You Left" was recorded on an iPhone SE second gen with the like stock Apple headphones.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably
Yep.
got some of the best quality out of anything I've released.
Absolutely. Like, and I mean, like, we, like, even in music videos these days, there are music videos, there are movies being shot on all iPhones right now, like, it's one of those things where, you know as I said, all lines up to that gratitude. I'm grateful that I have Wally, because I'm able to literally just pick up a phone and be like, hey man, I have a question about this, and he just answers it. Not everyone has a Wally to ask questions to. Did I lose you? We may have lost him. He did indeed um, disconnect.
All right, sorry about that.
No big deal. It happens. But yeah, being old has taught me to be grateful. And that's why, like, if you're listening to this podcast and you are from the St. Paul, Minneapolis area, and you don't have music out, and you're like, I am just scared because I don't have the knowledge to do something, find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is CJ Tech. I'm Chris Shara on Facebook. Most importantly, I bet you there's someone like me in your life that would be more than happy to answer your question. So if you are in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area and you have an audio question, if you have any, if you're afraid because of steep prices, anything like that, there's always a way to get your art out in this world. So don't be afraid to get your art out. Put it out. Reach out. Reach out and just ask. I mean it.
Please, I mean, reach out to him, guys. He's a great person in the industry, a great worker. He does a lot of awesome things. I definitely like. I mean, this man's running. What is it? 3 projects that aren't your own. Or
Okay, I will list off all the people that I'm currently working with because I just love talking about everyone that I work with. So my main project is Bullets and Butterflies. Our next show is we're playing Excelsior Brewing, and then we are playing the after party after the Treasure Island Rock the Island Festival. We are playing the after party for that, so there's a bunch of big headliners on that. But most importantly, we're going to be playing in the Parlay Lounge. It's going to be great. My other project is the Naughty Northern that I am a performer and working on becoming a part of songwriting in. We have some shows in California coming up this year, and as well, we have a big festival that we're playing called Center City Days, and then another big festival also in Center City called Naughty Fest 2026, who the headliner of that is Overtime, who is a incredibly talented country rap artist, along with Dirty. Dirty's really, really cool. I had the pleasure of touring with Dirty and his boys. I'm actually really excited to hang out with his band again. They're really cool dudes. But the Overtime guys are great. That's the Overtime tour I was on last year was the one that Chris Calico is on. So really excited to be able to share the stage with Overtime again. The third project I currently am working in is with my friend Reba, Fireside Shadow. I have the pleasure of helping her guitar sounds come to life and just being her friend. At the end of the day, she's a wonderful person that is putting positive influence and messaging into the music industry here in the Minneapolis St. Paul area. The clients that I am currently recording tonight, I have Honey Bear Jazz in. It is a jazz fusion project that I love recording. I could listen to isolated saxophone all day. They are incredibly talented individuals. The drummer, Ryan, he's in another band called Allure, another very, very cool St. Paul project that's going on right now. Minneapolis, St. Paul, they're touring the region as well. But yeah, Honey Bear, they're in multiple projects. They do a lot of stuff within the music community, a very talented jazz band. Then I have on Tuesdays, I have Dylan Wild. Dylan Wild is a solo songwriter who has literally one of the most gorgeous voices I've ever heard in the entire face of this planet. A blessing to this universe and a wonderful human being. He is my dear friend. And I was going to say that earlier. Sometimes he literally will come into the studio to do a recording session, and we end up talking for 3 hours and recording for an hour because he's my friend first and foremost. And then I have Zola Rosenfeld. Zola is another solo songwriter that's within the area that I'm helping her get some new music out. She is on all of these people are on the social medias, by the way. Oh, goodness gracious. Spam Caller. Spam Caller is a shoegaze band that I am very happy to be recording right now. They're very, very cool. I went out to their show at Seaward Cafe last night. It was really cool. They introduced, it was like a really intricate set, but very incredibly talented individuals as well. Their guitar player, Salem, could not say more good things about. That is an incredible talent, and that is a bright future ahead for everyone in that group. I'm really excited to see where they go. Who else am I recording? I think I just listed off bunch of names. I feel like there's more people popping in and out of the studio. But most importantly, yeah, I think that was all. That's all I have for right now in the next couple of months. But it's one of those things, as I said, I truly honored and grateful that I get to work with all these incredible human beings.
That's amazing. And hopefully once I get, my vehicle up and running, we'll be able to work together and I'll be driving down there to work with you.
Absolutely, man. Anytime you're in town, just hit me up. You got my socials.
I got everything, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Any other questions you have?
Not really. This is usually about the time where I let you kind of send your message to the people and say what you want to say, update on any upcoming projects you have for yourself, take the
Yeah.
stage.
As I said, Bullets and Butterflies. We have a show coming up at Excelsior Brewing. We may have a new single coming out soon. But we have that really big show coming up in June. Naughty Northern I forgot about the most important show that's coming up. The Naughty Northern has the honor and privilege of playing Hoofbeat 2026, which is Country Fest out in Cadott, Wisconsin, and we are playing the side stage and opening up the day that Bailey Zimmerman is playing. So we get to play one of the biggest country festivals in the Midwest, and I am more than
the biggest artist in the country in that genre too. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so
dude.
proud of you.
That's I'm really proud of Corey and everything that he's done with the Naughty Northern. He goes by the Naughty in the country rap industry. He's a really hardworking guy, and I'm very glad that I'm his friend. So we have Hoofbeat coming up, so we got a lot of preparation. We're in here every week getting ready for the new release, any new releases coming up, any songs he's got going. But most importantly, we're in here getting ready for Hoofbeat 2026. So, I love my, as I call them, my country family. So I love my country family. The Naughty Northern fans are incredible. He has a very dedicated following that they're all wonderful people. Every time I play a Naughty Northern show, I meet a new one of his fans, and they're all just really good people. Same goes for all the other projects. But yeah, Bullets has that going on. Naughty Northern has that going on. Fireside Shadow is playing a show April 26th, this Saturday, at the Pillar Forum. We are opening up for, oh boy, I have to remember so many artist names. Fireside Shadow is opening for, it's Nick Karcher, I believe. Yep, Nick Karcher. There it is. Thought of it right as I was pulling it up. So we're opening up for Nick Karcher at Pillar Forum. We're very excited to do that. And my message to everyone else: support your local industry. The local community cannot grow if you don't go out your front door. There are so many music acts that are just hungry and are just looking for a set of ears to care. So if there's anything that you can do, it is to care about your local music scene. It is to invest your time into that local music scene, to remind everyone that we're in this together. And music is the universal language that makes the world go round. So don't be afraid to go out to a local show. And if you're an artist that feels like your music's not good enough, or you're not enough, or you're scared to release music, do it. It's going to help. I hope it helps you feel better. Don't be afraid. Take that first step, because art is amazing. And there is always somebody out there, even if it's just one person, that you can change their life by just sharing your message and sharing your song. That's all I got for you today.
You guys heard it. Share your music out there, and also stay tuned to the Bullets and Butterflies pages, because it sounds like there might be something new coming out. And remember, music is the key to life. Even our hearts have a beat, so don't give up on the music. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in.